Now, as for the main purpose of us asking you to come here today, as all of you will know, we were very much involved, very proactively engaged in seeking an agreement during the course of the Stormont House negotiations. And a lot of good work was done, I believe, in the course of what was a very difficult negotiation, which was happening against the backdrop of an ideologically driven agenda by the Tory leadership in London. And I think that their strategy since they came into power has clearly shown them not to be true friends of the huge efforts that we've made to continue to chart a course away from conflict and providing frontline services for the people that we represent. So in the course of that, we plotted a way forward in relation to the past, the issue of parades and the whole issue of flags and symbols and identity. The other major issue that we were dealing with was the issue of the swinging welfare cuts that the Tories were imposing on our administration. And we have always, in the course of that negotiation, been working on the basis that that negotiation would protect people who are present claimants and future claimants, and protect important groups within society: children with disabilities, adults with severe disabilities, the long-term sick, and families with large numbers of children. And that was made very, very clear by us during the course of that negotiation. We have learned in the course of the recent days that the scheme being brought forward by the Minister for Social Development doesn't give full protection to claimants or protection to future claimants. That is absolutely unacceptable. In my opinion, it's bad faith, and we have no other choice but to oppose the final stages of the welfare bill being held in this House later today. Further to that, we are presently seeking a petition of concern, and we're in discussions with other individuals, MLAs and parties about how we can achieve that. So this represents a very serious situation. This represents a very serious crisis. It's a crisis that needs to be averted. We need to see a resolution of that crisis. Time is short. The Assembly is about to sit. This will be dealt with in the course of today's business. But as far as we're concerned, as I said in my speech at the Ardèche in Derry at the weekend, the issue of protection for some of the most vulnerable and disadvantaged people within our society is a red line issue for Sinn Féin. And we made a commitment, and it was a publicly stated commitment in the run into the Stormont House negotiations, during the Stormont negotiations, and after the Stormont House negotiations. And we're going to keep faith with those people who we were determined to protect. So if there's any questions, we'll gladly take them.
Why is it taking as long as this? I mean, did you not do the number crunching? I mean, it does seem a little late in the day that we get to a Monday morning when you finally realise that the figures don't actually stack up.
Well, we didn't realise that the figures didn't stack up on the Monday morning. We have been involved in discussions with the DUP over the course of the last while. I was here last week. We met with the DUP on on Wednesday. We met them on Thursday. We were told that the Department of Social Development would bring forward figures for lunchtime on Friday. I was in Derry preparing for the Ardèche. I came to Belfast. I went to Stormont Castle, and the DUP didn't show up. So this has been an issue, not this morning. This has been an issue for quite a number of days. And as far as I am concerned, the approach that we took during the course of the Stormont House negotiations was to, in the context of the basis being full protection for claimants and the protection also for future claimants, that the responsibility then fell to the Minister of Social Development to bring forward schemes to ensure those protections. That has only happened in the course of the last short while. So, just to give you an example, in the hours after the Stormont House Agreement, Conor Murphy was interviewed by the BBC and others and stated our position. Jerry Adams stood on a doorstep sometime later, considerably later, and also reiterated our position. Alec Maskey was on the BBC continuously, reiterated our position. Nobody at any stage in the course of the last 2 months from the DUP came to us and contradicted what they had said. So we were working on the basis that there would be full protection for claimants and for future claimants. So that's the explanation.
And you say it's a crisis. Does it endanger the Stormont House Agreement itself? Do you think if it's not resolved?
I think if it's not resolved, it has very profound implications. I think not just for the Stormont House Agreement, but for these institutions. And of course, as a problem solver, I want a resolution to this. Whether or not a resolution is possible in the course of the coming hours remains to be seen.
And can you give us just a brief resume again of what this issue is about? It's about something that was promised but not delivered by the DUP. Is that basically what you're saying?
It's about I'm a very experienced negotiator. I've been involved in the Good Friday negotiations, the St Andrews negotiations, the Hillsborough negotiations, and the Stormont House negotiations. And I've been involved in all sorts of other negotiations in between all of that. So I think I know what I'm talking about when I go into a negotiation and make it clear that the basis, for example, that we were moving forward was for full protection for present claimants and future claimants. And we spoke about who would be affected by the Tory onslaught on the welfare state. And who are those people? They are children with disabilities. They are adults with severe disabilities. They are the long-term sick. And they are families who have large numbers of children. So, that's the basis on which we were involved in the negotiation, and nobody can be under any illusion about where we were coming from, because not alone were we saying that in the room, our spokespersons were saying it to you.
One more question. I was in a briefing 3 weeks ago with the Chief Executive of the Social Security Agency, and he told us there wouldn't be protection for new claimants. And I think the rest of the room heard that. Since asked DSD when that cut-off would be, they've been unable to tell me. Are you saying that you were told something different?
Well, what I have said very clearly to you that is the responsibility for the schemes which will deliver the protections fell to the Minister of Social Development, a department held by the Democratic Unionist Party. When it became clear to us in the course of the last very, very short while that those protections were not going to be upheld, I, as someone who's been around a very long time, sensed that we were going to have a very serious problem. Let me say one other thing which I think is very important. I done a briefing with the BBC on the 17th of February in this office for an hour, and we discussed all of these matters. And later that night, the person who was there said that he was still concerned that there wasn't enough money available to deal with this. But more significantly, he said he didn't believe that the DUP thought there was enough money. So, as far as I'm concerned, that was concrete proof to me that the DUP were briefing people within the media, but never once did they come to me Never once did anybody, on behalf of the leadership of the DUP, come to me and say that. And I think that says it all.
What is the shortfall between what you are asking for and what's being delivered?
Well, as I said to you in the course of the question that you asked, I came here last Friday to find that out. You know, this was a big day for us, the beginning of the Ardèche in Derry. I came here and I sat here for 3 hours in Stormont Castle for those figures to be delivered, and they were not delivered. And as we stand here this morning, they have still not been delivered.